just taking a bit of a risk against an experienced man who's had plenty of first-round knockouts, in fact 4. But on the other hand, Hussein doesn't go on the deck too easily. And, he really looks good winning the Commonwealth Lightweight Championship against Langton Tinago. So, Christie then, father of course of Errol, but first one of the two now to win a championship. And he took the championship from Tony Mackenzie at Croydon last January, and he really looked destructive winning that one. So it's a question now of mind over matter and so forth with Christie since he joined the Lynch stable in Birmingham. He's looks as though he's come to life in many ways, got himself settled down. Comes out of Wolverhampton. They announced him as Coventry because the family lived there, but he was actually born in London. Well, the trade talk, Jim's been all along. What's going to happen in the first round now? Is Hussein going to get caught?
Well, Hussein probably has the right kind of style for this kind of match, because he's a very compact fighter. He keeps his chin down, he takes some punches, but he manages to take them on the forehead, and I think he's going to have to do that, especially in the early rounds. He can't hang his chin out, he can't give Christie a clean shot at that chin. But the two questions in my mind: how strong is Christie in this kind of fight at 10 stone? I see he came on bang on 10 stone at the weigh-in, and he's been much bigger than this. So this is going to be a hard fight all the way through. So can he go at that pace?
I think maybe Christie has to just drag a bit to do that way, because he had to come to the scales a couple of times. He was at the weigh-in today. It's only a matter of ounces, but I got a feeling, Jim, what you're right there, because he certainly has to drag a little bit, and we've seen him at much higher weights than this.
I think he'll obviously be his most dangerous in the first 3, 4, 5 rounds. If Hussein gets by there, then his own physical strength and his aggression and the pace he's prepared to set could turn the fight in his favour. But the first 3 or 4 rounds must be dangerous for Hussein. Now, Christie has landed twice bang on Hussein's chin in the first round and hasn't shaken him up too much.
Well, Hussein can rely on plenty of encouragement from out of the ring. He's one of the best young ticket sellers in the game. So the Lynch brothers there working with Lloyd Christie, and there's the rundown of his statistics, as I say. The Lynches now, they manage Pat Cowdell and the lightweight champion Tony Willis, and Costas Petru, former champion. And there's the rundown for Mo Hussein, and manager-trainer Jimmy Tibbs there telling him what he wants there. Duck about inside, get inside, throw the uppercuts. This is where they're not looking from the other corner, maybe.
Stay on top.
Round 2. Into the second rounds then of this British Championship fight, scheduled for 12. And these terse orders in Hussein's corner is stay on top of him. And it is obviously right to, because he can't beat this fellow at long range. But they're both 24. But I think in boxing terms, Christie's certainly the one with the old head. He never boxed, actually, as a senior amateur. So it shows he's done most of it in the pro ring. 38 fights. And Christie been in with hard campaigners like Clinton Mackenzie out of Croydon, who's now retired. And they fought in the Isle of Man. Confidence at any time, Jim. I was talking to him yesterday when he was finishing his training, and again today, and he's full of it. And I suppose picking up a championship on the way now, just giving him that little bit more confidence, eh?
Yeah, no, and I suppose it's a good risk for him tonight, because he's going to go home a champion whatever happens, because his own lightweight title is not at stake here. And it is a good chance because he has the style to trouble Christie. He certainly has the style, as long as he doesn't get caught early on. And I think that the way the fight has started should suit Hussein too, because they're both staying pretty close. I thought Christie would maybe stand off a little bit and try and pin Hussein on the jab, but he's getting involved straight away, and that has to suit Hussein.
Minute to go in the second. And the first burst of punches that come back from Hussein after Christie had led the way there, got the cheers from the back of the hall as usual. Doesn't bother Christie at all. He won his championship in Croydon, and that's as far away as Wolverhampton as he wants to get, I suppose. In fact, one of his best wins was in France against Syed Schouma, who later held the 11-stone European Championship. 11 stone, a stone above this one. Warming up to a good fight now. There's been quite a few punches thrown in the opening rounds. They're not standing and posing. Got that little bit of a touch of a championship needle about it there, and they...
I think Christie is trying to back Hussein up now. Hussein must back Christie up, and I think Christie solved that out.
There's the rundown of the cornermen there working with Hussein, as I say, the vital part of the game. And he's very confident for when he gets back there that he's close to all these guys. Former mechanic, actually, Mo Hussein. He says you never know, if he makes enough money, he might go back into the business, start his own business. That's the aim of it. So there's the Lynch brothers. That's Pat in the ring, and a slightly greying top gentleman outside is Tom, with the former boxer Don Agerson working along with them. Into the third round of what's turning into, well, an entertaining British light-welterweight title fight. And Hussein firing on both cylinders there. He came out, he caught Christie with that first good punch. And the crowd knew it, and certainly Christie did. Well, there seemed a lot of risk factor about this when they wrote about it, thought about this fight, Jim, but it looks as though Hussein's the only one that you think there was any risk at all, or his manager for that matter.
No, well, I keep saying that he has the right style to trouble Christie, because he keeps his head down, and the punches he has to take, Hussein takes them on the forehead, and I think he can do that all night long. Christie was trying to push Hussein back in the previous round, because I think he's realised that to be fully effective, Hussein has to be coming forward. So I think there's going to be a battle in the early rounds of the man who can push the other man back.
If he has had any trouble just pulling down to that weight, Jim, it sometimes can lose a little bit of the snap in the punch, Christian. I'm wondering whether that's happening or not.
Well, I don't see any signs. That's a good right hand from Christie, but again, it didn't trouble Hussein too much. It was a good shot. He's smiling back up now. No signs that Christie is struggling with the weight at the moment.
No, because a fighter comes in a matter of ounces overweight, doesn't always it's just a question of he's got it wrong on the morning, nothing else. Might have had a half a cup of tea too much on the way in. quite a fast rate, this, Jim.
Yeah, it's a good pace there. They've never stopped punching since the first bell. Not too many good clean punches getting through, but plenty of action. Another nice little joking uppercut from Christie there.
Well, they're letting it go right above the commentary position there, and the uppercut started a bit of a roll there. Christie fancies his chance to move in and try and finish it, but he'll run out of time in this round. Caught him with his head right on the bell there, and referee Morgan quickly reprimanded Christie for that one. So the overhead look for Jim in replay. Have a look at this. It's Christie steaming in, of course.
Yeah, well, Christie get through with a couple of nice punches towards the end of that round, especially a nice little uppercut that lifted Hussein's head straight up. But Hussein has a good chin, and he comes firing back, so no man has really shaken the other man badly as yet.
Round 4. And right at the end of the third, then, burst of punching from Christie. But it didn't really seem to disturb Hussein too much. Didn't do him any good. Remember that Lloyd Christie is the man who got a draw in his career with the world champion Terry Marsh back in 1982 in Bloomsbury. And in fairness, it was a good result. Marsh had no complaints about it.
I don't think this fight will finish without someone being cut, because the heads are really banging. Good punches from Hussein there.
He's got more control than I remember at the start of his career, Hussein. He was a little bit wild, but he's certainly responded to a bit of coaching now. Natural fighter by style, of course. He's not going to be a fancy dad, but at the same time, he's putting the punches together well and slipping a few. When Christie misses, as he did there, Hussein's trying to make him pay for it a bit with the counter shots. It's usually accumulation of punches from Hussein that tends to slow and finish an opponent. And he went into the last round of his championship fight with the Zimbabwean Langton Tinago before he won. And a really grandstand finish to capture the Commonwealth Championship at 9-9. At least referee Morgan has been able to just let the action flow without mauling them too much. And there you are, they're answering the calls of break. Sometimes these American referees are very mobile and very showy. They get mixed up a bit too much with the fighters and talk too much, in my opinion. So it's a good finish to this round again now. Get the impression that Hussein's trying to let Christie punch himself out a bit before he retaliates. So they're using the almost like the garden spray there in Christie's corner. The old-fashioned sponges out. It's a bit more clinical, this. And we're into the 5th round then of this British Championship fight, with West Ham's Mo Hussein now wearing the club colours and a rather large supporters club from your actual East Ender. But Lloyd Christie's never been short of support. Even if his own family came, it would make quite an attendance. Well, it's the old line, Jim. I think it's building up for the old war of attrition, this one now. It's all about staying power.
Yeah, this is going to be a cracker. See, the question we always asked before the fight began was how was Hussein going to cope with Christie's power? Well, so far he hasn't been troubled by Christie's power in the first 4 rounds. And that being the case, he must have a great chance of victory, because this is a style of fight Hussein enjoys. And in the last third of the fight, you've got to figure maybe Hussein can get the better of things.
Planted that right hand there. There was some oohs right around the crowd on that one.
That was the best punch Christie could throw. That one certainly shook up Hussein, but he's managed to take the punch and he's right back into action again. He doesn't want to take too many of those, though.
Sometimes in this business, Jim, one's too many, as you well know. Oh, yes, he's going to get a bit right hand happy now, Christie, but you can't blame him while Hussein's not really getting out of the way. Standing right too close to him as well. He should just be getting on the old bike a bit, moving about. He's collecting himself a bit more now, Hussein. He's not winning this round. Well, we've made him miss with a couple there anyway. And don't forget, you do get points in boxing for a bit of defensive work. Yeah, solid round for Christie, Jim.
Yeah, very good round. Christie's best round so far. It's the first time we've seen Hussein troubled by Christie's punching power. And I think when this round's over, Hussein will be told by his corner to start pushing Christie back if he can. He can't afford to be backed up here because he's not half as good backed up, and Christie's twice as good.
So they've got to work rather feverishly in the corner there for Hussein. The old ice well, the little iron on the eye there. Jim, replay, and the right hand's coming in.
Yeah, some tremendous punching from Christie in this round. Now that punch would have put any other light welterweight in the country over. That was a perfect punch. It just shows the good chin Hussein has. He was caught again just after that one. See, that was another tremendous right hand punch, and straight away Christie sees his chance and tries to capitalise on it. But what a lovely punch, and what a good chin Hussein has.
Round 6. And a lot of clean punching, a lot of spirit now in this championship contest, as it should be. The lightweight Commonwealth champion trying to challenge the British light welterweight champion, jumping out of 9 stone 9 to 10 stone. There was a time when the meeting of champions of different weights was a very big attraction in the fight game. Doesn't happen quite so frequently now. But he's trying to do this crab-like stuff to stay right on top of Christie, trying to nullify those long punches as much as he can, Hussein. Might take him just a round or two to recover from the fifth. I'll probably tell you he didn't feel a thing, you know, when the fighters grit their teeth like that and so determined to get on with it. It's said they don't feel the punches as much as we do looking at them. Well, he's weathered the storm, Jim, seemingly.
Yeah, but his own work, he hasn't recovered the snap in his own work yet. He's forcing himself on in this round, but he doesn't have the snap that we saw in the earlier rounds. But as we see, Hussein's trying to force himself back into it again. But that was a shaky round for him, the fifth.
Well, I doubt if we'll make Christie lose confidence now, having had such a winning round, and now Hussein's trying to come back. But might be a little bit of frustration with Christie, but not there. He's trying those right hands again now. Inside the last half minute then of the sixth. Hussein withdrew from the lightweight eliminators, with the champion Tony Willis waiting for them. Managed in the same camp now as Christie, so that he wanted a plan to go up and challenge at this weight. Oh, what a good finish to this round. Just trying the right-hand punches again in this replay, Jim Christie.
Yeah, that was another cracking round, and Christie got slightly better of it. How he gets so much power into that second punch there, I'll never know. Lovely punch.
Round 7, scheduled for 12 then. And it really has been very much a bit of a seesaw battle, and then the champion Christie came on strong in the fifth. But this fellow Hussein, I tell you, he's a real gritty little performer, this one. He had an easy time last time out at the Albert Hall, beating Santos Moreno.
Hussein is so much better when he's coming forward.
So a little time off, says the referee. It's a matter of about 3 seconds, I would think. OK, he's waving play on, and the timekeeper reminding the boxers us to be careful of the heads. They use the word watch the heads. But they weren't out and out butts, Jim. That's the amazing thing. It's just a bit of roughing the way they fight, the pair of them, isn't it? They come straight in.
Actually, I haven't seen a deliberate butt yet. It's just their styles. But Hussein has much more success when he drives Christie back, but Christie realises this, and he's having a lot of trouble trying to push him back. But I think he's really going to have to make up his mind to try to push Christie back for the rest of the fight, to try and get control of this.
Still plenty of work rate there with Hussein. He puts his punches together quite well in clusters. Well, when the match was made, Jim, it always had the makings of a good fight, didn't it? An intriguing type of fight, and it's turned out that way.
I see it looks like some blood coming from the top of Christie's head, Reg. Above the ear. It's in a strange place, obviously, caused by the blood spirit. Yeah, we expected a tremendous battle as soon as we heard of this fight, and it really is a cracker.
He's having a lot of success here, Hussein, and yes, definitely I think Christie's cut there somewhere. We can't quite spot it as close as we are to the ring. Looks as though it is on the side of the head. Good round now for Hussein. He's come back well here. The wearing down process, the nagging punches. Well, they don't even need the encouragement from the crowd now, these lads. They're really getting stuck in. Well, the way Tom Lynch is looking there, and he usually takes care of the cuts and things, it looks as though it's somewhere high up on the head. Well, that's well away from any danger. If it's up there, I tell you that won't bother him or the referee. So let's have a look at the overhead replay then. And certainly, Hussein was getting himself well back into the fight by then. That was a very good section of the fight. He puts them together well. Now, a little bit of excitement, I suspect, professional excitement, I have to add, in the Hussein corner. They can see now that he's come back to the front again after just flagging there in the fifth and a bit in the sixth. And we're into round 8 then of this championship battle, and it's certainly that way. And as I say, although Lloyd Christie is by far the most experienced, Mo Hussein loves these long-distance wars. It suits his style of fighting. Well, he's a bit late getting that off, whether he thought that was too much grease on the face of the referee. Well, when he was in trouble, Jim, in the fifth, as they would say, he was only a bit of a half a Mo, wasn't he? But he's come back now, okay.
Yeah, well, there were signs in the previous round that Hussein was the stronger of the two. And even now, he's not taking too many backward steps. It's all happening in the centre of the ring. But Hussein, well, he's just backing off now, but that's the first time in this round.
Really good battle, this now. It's never been found wanting by either man. All right, it gets a bit untidy at times, and that's a bit more enthusiasm than anything else that creates that. Good old-fashioned, honest endeavour. Tends to put his punches sort of arm strength there, Christie, doesn't he? He doesn't lean in with them, Jim, or swing hard.
Well, that's the difference. In this round, Christie's punches don't have the same, just a little bit of untidiness here again, the referee's complaining about. But Christie's punches haven't been able to stop Hussein in his tracks in this round. He doesn't have the same snap. I don't know if he's feeling the pace a bit more than Hussein. But what a cracking pace it's been.
Minute to go in the 8th. What was wrong with Arthur Mo, by honest? What a burst of punching this is. The crowd quite rightly give him all the applause, and this is the right hall for that. Depleted, of course, by the cancellation of Simpson and Anderson, but nonetheless a very enthusiastic crowd. I suspect most of them are Hussein supporters, obviously from just virtually down the road compared with the Midlands. So the countdown for the end of the 8th. And knockdown survived so far. They're just wiping a bit of blood off Hussein's face, but it actually is not his. It's come off Christie's head there. into round 9. How are they going to sort this one out? I say they, because I'm so used to the judges, but of course in a British Championship fight, it's all down to this referee from Wales here.
Well,
Jim?
every round has been very close, and so obviously the fight itself is very close. I thought Christie was in front early on. He's maybe still slightly in front for his better punching, but Hussein has been improving gradually over the last couple of rounds. And we said early on that we would expect the last third of the fight to be Hussein's most successful. So now he should be starting his big drive. I would say Christie could be using a big round because the last couple of rounds have not been particularly good rounds for Christie.
A lot of incentive here. Both badly want to fight the African who's now resident in Europe, Tek Makalaketi. He's now European champion. He was beaten by Terry Marsh. Oh, two good punches. The left swing came in first, and then he held his head too high, Hussein, and soaked up the right hand. Well, a bit of a shoving match across the ring there now. But he's a bit of a rubber ball, Moses, and he'll come bouncing back all the time. Straighter punching now, Christie's counting. Been counting all through, but now he's really trying to work on that. Keep Hussein at bay with those long punches and score at the same time. It gets harder and harder, Jim, now, doesn't it?
Well, I was saying Christie wanted a big round. Well, he's trying to have one. He's found some of his old punching power again, and he's caught Hussein with some lovely punches in this round.
Well, there's blood around Hussein's left eye, Jim. I'm not sure again whether he's been cut or whether it's from Christie's head at the moment. It really has now been non-stop, hasn't it? Well, there's no way that these fellas with these styles can take rest, Jim. No breathers are allowed in this game.
Yeah, it's been a tremendous pace all the way through. And I expected Hussein to raise up a gear in this round, but Christie hasn't allowed him to do that. He's kept him backed up for most of the round. Still been a close round, but I'd say most of it has gone Christie's way.
I don't think Hussein's cut. No, it was just a smudge of blood from Christie's hair. Or his head, I meant, but obviously rubbed in by his hair. Have a look at some more replay, Jim.
Well, again, another tremendous round. That was a knockout left hook. That left hook was bang on target. And then the right hand also should be knocking people over, but it shows how tough Hussein is.
Into the 10th round of a very hard and entertaining British Championship fight. This a bit of an old warrior, Lloyd Christie, although he's only 24 and lived in the shadow a little bit in recent years of his big brother Errol, who shared a dressing room with him tonight. And what a finish this is going to be in the 10th now. You don't often see Hussein on the deck, and he didn't like it. He pulled himself up immediately. All the guts in the world, and he'll need it. And it's right at the start of the round, so Christie's got it well in hand now. All the heads bumped in there, and the referee heard them. An accident, really. They were both trying to get inside. Now, can Hussein recover? He's been stopped before, but his only loss of his career was with a cut eye against Peter Eubanks. Now, let's see if he can hang on there.
See, Christie's been getting a little bit too close to Hussein all the way through, but now he's standing off just that few inches and giving himself some punching room. Those were tremendous punches that put Hussein over.
A little bit of experience is showing, Jim, as the distance is going by. At one time I thought maybe the distance would suit Hussein's style of fighting, but Christie's more than matched that now.
Well, we questioned how strong Christie was at 10 stone, but he's answered that in good style.
Absolutely.
See, at the moment, he's just standing off. See, there he goes again. When he just stands off a couple of inches, he's getting more leverage into his punches, and he's catching Hussein cleanly, and that's what's giving him so much trouble now. He's not getting tangled up with too much of the close quarter stuff.
The referee keeps looking at Hussein's face, but I'm sure it's coming from Christie, Jim. It's most misleading, this, isn't it?
Yeah, Hussein has suffered a fair bit of bruising around the face, but I don't think he's cut at all.
I tell you, at the start of that round, his pride was more bruised than anything. Didn't want to stay down and take a count at all. He was pulling himself up. Oh, he's trying to fire back. He's got all the heart in the world, Hussein there. But Christie, quite rightly, as a champion, wants to stay on top of him the whole time. And there you are, almost in the ring there with them. They earn their money, these guys.
I think Hussein is probably cut behind the left ear wedge. There seems to be a bit of blood there. I don't know if it's... Oh, another tremendous shot.
Just as well, the bell's coming up now. He just needs that rest. I think there is a cut there behind the ear somewhere. Jimmy Tibbs is wondering where it is, but I think it's from Christie. But anyway, it's not serious, whatever it is. Here's the knockdown now, coming in replay. Throws the right hand that misses, and then bingo, he swings back in with a left hook, and then just clips on the side of the head, the right hand. And then he tries to catapult up again. Jim, the end of the round replay.
Well, a couple of tremendous punches, but every punch, and that was bang on the chin. Now, these are knockout punches we're seeing, yet Hussein staying upright.
11th round. And it looks as though Christie's got back on top, Jim.
Well, the 10th round was the most one-sided round of the fight, and it was all Christie. That must have knocked an awful lot out of Hussein. It just depends how much Christie has left, but he still seems to have plenty spring in his feet, and it obviously has done his confidence a world of good.
Well, it's more than lived up to expectations, in my view, this contest. He's just looking to sort of smother and hold a little bit at close quarters now, Hussein, Jim.
Yeah, well, Hussein did absolutely nothing in the 10th round, and he's not had any success so far in the 11th here. He just doesn't seem to have a little bit of strength now that it's needed. And Christie's been in with so many much heavier men, so he's quite used to this.
A good little flurry of punches there from Hussein. The crowd applauded that okay. But not sufficient of them now to keep Christie off. Backing back into a neutral corner there, right above us. Hasn't been a difficult fight, in fact, a lovely fight, the referee, Jim, but Morgan's done a good job nonetheless, kept it going well.
Yeah, but he's allowed the fight to flow. It's been a tremendous fight all the way through. And I feel at the time when Hussein needed to turn the tide, he hasn't managed to do that. Around about the 8th round, Hussein needed a drive, and Christie did not allow him to have that drive. Hussein needed to push Christie back, but Christie has never allowed him to do that.
Well, we predicted a war, and it's certainly been one. And I must say, Lloyd Christie stayed on perhaps a little bit better than I thought he may have done. But then he was always full of confidence when he had the man going a few times, and he really had to keep raising his game. So the long walk back there, coming up for the last for Mo Hussein. Well, what can they say over there in Hussein's corner now, Jimmy Tibbs and co? It's just that I think he's got to really get a bit desperate in this last round. I think Jim Watt and I have got the champion ahead. He's been dominating now in this second half of the fight. And just looking at the points now, remember they're half-point margins in British boxing, but they are being encouraged nowadays, the referees, to give full points more often. So I suspect Christie could have had a couple of full-point rounds there. So the last hurrah coming in there from Tibbs. And the 12th and final round then of the Light-Welterweight Championship of Britain at 10 stone. The champion, Lloyd Christie, now looks as though he may have hung on to the championship okay. But no, Hussein's never been found wanting. What a great little battle this is with the lightweight Commonwealth champion. And the crowd now getting their money's worth, all right. Oh, what a right hand. He's going to finish it in the last. And he's nearly gone out of the ring there. And manager Jimmy Tibbs is getting up to stop it anyway. And the referee has... Well, I'd like to have seen Hussein at least stay the course and get the professional's pride of staying the distance. But it was a champion finish. That's the way they have to do it. And I must say, Jim, nobody's more shocked, of course, than poor Hussein. What a turnabout that was.
Well, Hussein Reg has run on to a perfect blinding punch. It caught him bang on the chin. Hussein was rushing forward. He was boxing that last round like a man who needed a knockout, but unfortunately he took the chance and it went against him. But that was a perfect right-hand punch, added to the fact that Hussein was moving forward, and as soon as the punch landed, the fight was over. What a tremendous punch.
Well, the Lynches are almost weighing in by the pound there. They're thrilled about that.
The referee has stopped the contest. The winner, and still the Light-Welterweight champion.
So it was officially stopped and not counted out. Now let's have a look at this now. There it is, right on the button. And then he lost all control and pitched forward there. And luckily just stayed in the ring, although there's quite a large size apron there and the photographer's held him back. Jim, have another look.
As I said, a perfect right-hand punch. Hussein coming in the way, bang, bang on target. As soon as that punch landed, the fight was over. Feel sorry for Hussein, but what a tremendous show he put up. But no way could anybody recover from a punch like that.